Imagine waking up with $100 million in your account. No announcement, no new car, nobody knows. That afternoon, your friend quietly takes the restaurant bill out of your hand. "I've got this," he says. "You can pay me back when things turn around." Everyone hears him. One screen on your phone could change the way they see you. Would you show them? Or would you stay quiet? Just long enough to find out what they think you are worth without the money. At 9:17 on a Tuesday morning, Eli Mercer became worth $100 million. The number appeared on his laptop without music, confetti, or witnesses. It was simply there, the final payment for his stake in a software company almost nobody knew he had helped build. For 6 years, Eli had worked from a small apartment, driven an old car, and worn the same faded navy hoodie. His family called his company the Little Computer Project. His friends stopped asking how it was going. They assumed silence meant failure. But Eli owned part of a system that a global company had just paid billions to acquire. His share was $100 million, enough to never work again and change every opinion about him in seconds. Eli stared at the balance. Then he closed the laptop, picked up a basket of clothes, and went downstairs to the laundromat. On the walk there, Eli made himself one rule. For 30 days, he would tell nobody. No contract required it. He did not want a cruel test of loyalty. He wanted one final month in which every conversation was untouched by the number, before politeness, envy, and opportunity arrived. At the laundromat, Mrs. Alvarez watched Eli struggle to fold a shirt and shook her head. "6 years on that computer," she said, "and you still cannot fold a sleeve." She fixed it, shared her coffee, and asked if he had eaten. Nothing about her changed, because nothing about Eli appeared to have changed. That felt comforting, and, in a way Eli did not yet understand, dangerous. 3 days later, Eli met his old friends for lunch. Marcus placed a luxury car key beside his glass, complained about the payments, then described a watch he wanted because, as he put it, people need to see that you are doing well. When the conversation reached Eli, Marcus leaned forward. "So what happened with that company you were helping?" "The project ended," Eli said. That was true. It just was not the whole truth. Marcus gave him the careful smile people use when they believe they have heard bad news. "That could be a good thing," he said. "You have been stuck on it forever." Before Eli could answer, Marcus said, "He needs something stable. My company is looking for support staff." Marcus had already decided where Eli belonged. Then the bill arrived. Eli reached for it. Marcus pulled it away. "I've got him," he told the server, nodding toward Eli. Then, a little more quietly, but not quietly enough, he added, "You can get me next time, when things turn around." Eli felt every eye move toward him. He imagined unlocking his phone, Marcus staring at the balance, followed by sudden interest in a company he had never cared to understand. Eli could have bought that moment for nothing. Instead, he put his phone back in his pocket and said, "Thank you." Marcus smiled, satisfied with his generosity, and for the first time, having money felt less like power than X-ray vision. It exposed the hierarchy hiding inside the friendship. But Marcus had also paid for a friend he genuinely believed was struggling. Was it kindness? Was it status? Was it both? Money did not give Eli the answer. It only made him suspicious of the question. On Sunday, Eli went to his mother's house for dinner. A metal bowl caught water from a roof leak near the kitchen wall. His older brother Nate arrived in a leased SUV, wearing an expensive watch. He spent dinner describing the expansion of his contracting company. Then he turned to Eli. "What are you going to do now?" "I have not decided." Nate sighed. "You are 32. You cannot play with a little computer project forever. Come work with me. I will teach you how a real business operates." Eli looked at Nate's watch. He thought of the number on his laptop. The reveal rose to his throat, not because Nate needed the truth, but because Eli wanted the expression that would follow it. Their mother placed a dish between them, and said, "Both of you, stop measuring." The words landed harder than either brother expected. 2 days later, Eli received a call from the bank. His name was attached to an old family document, so the manager had to notify him, The loan against his mother's house was in default. Foreclosure could begin in 3 weeks. Ellis' mother had never taken out that loan. Nate had. His business was failing. The SUV, the watch, the confident advice, almost all of it was borrowed. Nate had convinced their mother to sign a temporary business guarantee. She did not understand that her home was the collateral. Now Eli faced the first real decision his money had given him. He could clear the debt in seconds. But if he paid quietly, Nate could keep the lie. Ellis' money would not solve the behavior that created the problem. It would only erase the consequences. Or Eli could protect his secret and watch his mother lose the house where she had raised them. For the first time, staying silent was no longer free. That night, Nate came to Ellis' apartment. Without the watch and the polished confidence, he looked exhausted. "I need help," Nate said. "You understand banks. Maybe you can talk to them." Even then, he did not tell the whole truth. Eli let every excuse run out, then placed two conditions on the table. First, Nate would tell their mother exactly what he had done. No softened version and no blaming the market. Second, the house would be placed in a protected trust. Nobody would borrow against it again, not Nate, and not Eli. Nate stared at him. Why would the bank agree to that? Because the loan will be paid. Nate looked around the modest apartment. Paid by who? Eli held his brother's gaze. "Tell Mom the truth. Then you will know." The next morning, the three of them sat in a glass office at the bank. Nate began with excuses about clients, costs, and a contract that should have arrived. Their mother stopped him. "Did you put my home at risk without telling me?" Nate looked down. "Yes." The room became completely quiet. She did not shout. She only asked how close she had come to losing her home. The manager slid the settlement figure across the desk. Eli read it once, signed the transfer authorization, and pushed it back. The manager checked the account details, looked up in surprise, then confirmed the debt would be cleared that morning. Nate looked at the figure, then at his brother. "How much money do you have?" he asked. Eli closed the folder. "Enough to fix this," he said. "Not enough to make lying harmless." It was the only answer Nate received. Outside the bank, Ellis' mother took his arm. She did not ask what the company sold for or what he planned to buy. She asked, "Are you still coming on Sunday?" Eli laughed. "Yes." By the end of the week, the secret had started to travel. Marcus wrote that he had always known Eli would succeed. Then he sent a business idea and an invitation to an expensive restaurant. 2 distant relatives called to check in. A man who had ignored Eli for years suddenly wanted to reconnect. Nobody asked whether the money frightened him, or what 6 years of uncertainty had cost. They asked what he was doing next. Now the question sounded completely different. Eli had believed the secret would show him exactly who people were. It did not. People are more complicated than one moment. Marcus used generosity to feel important, but still helped a friend he thought was broke. Nate risked their mother's home to protect his image, but eventually told the truth. Money did not reveal perfect heroes and obvious villains. It revealed pressure. It showed who confused looking successful with being safe, and who remained steady when there was nothing to gain. But it revealed something about Eli too. If he spent his life secretly testing everyone, the money would control every relationship before anyone else knew it existed. Real freedom was not hiding the number forever. It was no longer needing the number to win the room. On day 30, Eli returned to the laundromat. Mrs. Alvarez watched him ruin the same shirt fold. "Still no progress," she said. "Not much," Eli answered. She fixed the sleeve and handed it back. The money had bought him every exit. The people who never made him feel like he needed one, that was the part he could not buy.